But I put some cheap proteins into the Little Free Library that I've stopped at before. It used to be Little Free Library, now it's Little Free Pantry. It is food donation season, y'all. Do something for somebody, because there's going to be a lot of people hurting for dinner this month. And seriously, if you still have a unopened jar of peanut butter on the shelf while you're trying to eat carnivore, get that peanut butter and donate it somewhere. People got kids. Or they might need to be making some peanut dip for spring rolls, or you never know if that's what they like to make. I like spring rolls, but I have not been eating them. Unless my sister-in-law made them. We had a particular family gathering. It was a very rare event. And man, she can make them faster than I can. And I'm not bad at making them, I'll tell you. Because I like them so well. I like the ones with the shrimp or the grilled pork. And I eat up that peanut sauce. Oh, it's so good. Everybody needs Vietnamese sister-in-law. Yes. But, I made my stops and I'm just up the way from my class now. My gear is in the back and I'm in the right shirt. Shaolin Kung Fu, yeah. Kung Fu, Tai Chi, and Jiu-Jitsu. In case you're in the Round Rock area and need some exercise, you can get it there. And I'm still walking, so you know they don't hit too hard. I will admit, I've gone home with bruises more than once because I paired off against Andy or one of the other black belts. And the black belts, especially the new ones, okay, some of the new ones are young enough to be alert to the fact that some of us are not as young as they are, or as old as they are, as the case may be. But a lot of them are younger than me. And I think Eddie just hits hard. He's a good guy, though. And then there's people who hit black belt way before I even got to Tai Chi. And it's like Master Swain. Oh my gosh, he's pretty. And now his boy is doing this stuff too. And his boy looks so little. I saw a picture of them together when his boy was getting one of his advancements or a prize at a contest or something. Those tournaments are still important. Yeah, he's the one. He used to have really long hair and he would tie it back neatly. He would start practicing and doing all the jumps and kicks and flips and things that I've never been able to do. And at some point, it would always come untied. And then it was just this long, I don't know if he wore it in braids or dreads. I think it was braids. But that was a lot of hair. And just beautiful when he's doing some flying, like a butterfly kick. Think of the one that's famous in the movie The Avatar. It got that little boy the role because he could do it flawlessly. But he'd be practicing stuff like that when it came undone, and this hair, beautiful long hair, well kept. Which is why I think it was braids and not dreads, because usually when I see dreads, they don't look that good. But a graceful black belt doing his practice, and then all of a sudden you've got this array, this large fan of hair spreading around. It's just, I can dig long hair on a man. It's okay. A lot of men have no hair. Bart Kay pulls it off, right? And some people just stay with their short hair and they keep it neat and tidy and short, and they can make it look good. Everybody's got to do their thing to make their hair look good. I tie mine back because I'm going to class, and then I put an extra tie down at the end. It keeps it from being loose past the first tie, because if it's loose there, it's just going to be all wrapped up on my neck. That ain't pleasant. But we are post time change now. The sun just went down. I have redone the clock in my vehicle. I have it set to manually redo. Every time the battery gets disconnected for anything, because you don't want to accidentally hit a wire that's going to set off the airbag, right? But, so you have to disconnect the battery occasionally. And then you have to set the clock. Otherwise, it goes back to the day it was installed. I don't need that. I stopped on the way for a coffee. I've been drinking way too many energy drinks, the sugar-free ones, and that's a chemical stew I really don't need. Now, we tend to have them in the house. My husband and my grandson cannot live without them. They're there, and they have bubbles, and they taste good. Oh, Jacob. I'm not sure what the rest of that stands for, but hello. I'm driving right now, but I'll still talk to you. Hi. Interaction is good for the channel, right? How's my day? Not too busy. I had to call and make a dental appointment. I broke a molar. I've had worse. The last time I broke a bicuspid once. Same side but further forward. And it broke straight down the middle, and I took out half of it to keep it from rubbing. How old are me? I'm fixing to turn 60. You can't tell. I'm one of these carnivore diet weirdos. Yes, Jacob, a broken molar does suck. And my dental appointment isn't until the 18th. So that kind of sucks. But they should have it out that day, if all goes well. Or they'll do whatever they need to do, and I'll make another appointment. And then it'll come out. It's a root canal, so it's an old tooth that was already bad before. And the weirdness of it is I'm still going to be groggy the next day when we get in my husband's vehicle and drive from the Austin area to the Lubbock area and go hunt for venison on the brother-in-law's ranch. I like venison. So whether I still have the tooth or not, I have to wake up the next day and get going. You have braces? Oh, my sympathies. I have never had braces. My sister-in-law had them for a while, and the adhesive left marks on her teeth. I never did figure out why they had to use an adhesive that caused so many problems. But, you know, if they do the job and they fix any misalignment, that could save you thousands of dollars of care in the future. It's kind of like staying on top of your health. You're young, think about it now, and you'll have less health problems in the future. Get your exercise, get your proteins, find out what your essential fatty acids and essential proteins are, and make sure you get them, or get sufficient daily. And some people would tell you you have to eat carbohydrates. I don't. I'm on my way to martial arts class. Like, oh my gosh, how can you do anything athletic and do that? Well, I've lost a lot of weight because of the way I eat, not because of the martial arts. I cannot see what that says, but I will be parked in a minute and I will answer. I am almost there. Yeah, I kind of do impromptu live streams. Trying to be back in the habit. I kind of dropped them for a little while when my dad passed away. Do I live in DeWitt? No, I'm in Georgetown. Well, no, at the moment I'm in Round Rock headed to my class. And I don't actually live in Georgetown, although that's the address my post office gave me. It's number this, highway that, lot number whatever, Georgetown. Although I am somewhere in the wilderness out in Williamson County. How about y'all? Are you from anywhere interesting? Okay, the place I parked on Monday is taken. Oh, there's a spot. The moon is coming up and it's a beautiful evening. Okay, I'm at Shaolin Kung Fu and Tai Chi in Round Rock. And I would dearly love if some people I know on YouTube would join me, or if my husband would. Bye, Jacob. Nice meeting you. Yeah, fortunately I have some very empty roads because after 5 p.m. everything's going the other way, and there's a place back there where they're redoing the entire intersection, and they've got cones out to keep everybody separated. So I can spare a glance at my screen, Gary, okay? I am safely arrived. I have been to drop off some grocery items for charity because it's food bank season. Who else I got? Oh, it was Jacob mentioning it. Oh, asking if I lived in DeWitt. I got sympathy out of the younger crowd for sure. I'm finally getting this tooth took care of. No slow. The one I broke a while back. Okay, I am stopped. The keys are out, and it is still. Might have to put them in just to see the clock or look at my watch. I sometimes actually use it for what it's for. Oh, Gary, guess what? I have a new thing. I thought it was great when my bone mass hit average on the impedance scale. And this week I did my weigh in. And it says my visceral fat is starting to budge downward too. My bone mass puts me up. And without a DEXA scan, I can't completely dismiss the bone loss diagnosis from 19 years ago. But for it to say I have average bone mass, that's great. And I mentioned that to my instructor on Monday, that's where I'm at right now. And I also showed him my muscle mass is way at the top end of the scale. I just got to tone it. I've got to. I've been biohacking all year. I took most of the year off from martial arts because Tai Chi doesn't really move a lot of weight. I'll tell you that. And I had to do some stuff. I really had to do some stuff. I've been on my vibration plate a lot. And it's not just because of Aaron. My daughter told me about the one at the gym. And that was the thing I was most consistent with, was the vibration plate. It really is like having a little bit of a workout, especially if you do more than one session. Because you can do a session standing on it, and a session sitting down with your feet on it, and a session sitting on it. And it'll really twitch all those muscles, which will cause them to have a little influence. Not as good as using resistance bands, but it will pull against the bones. So you're doing a lot more than it feels like or than it looks like. And it is also supposed to be helping with the stroke recovery stuff. And I really hope it does. Gotta keep an eye on the time. It's 6 o'clock now, so I'm not in a hurry. Obviously, I stopped for a restroom and a coffee, so it's not much of a hurry. The children's instructors for all the afternoon program are slowly walking by and getting themselves out. I need to bring them some donuts and jugged coffee from Dunkin' one day, or some kolaches or something, because I think kolaches might be the way to go, because that way at least they're getting some protein. I've bought them treats before. They're good kids. And I'm not even talking about the after-school kids. I'm talking about the grown-ups. They're good kids that are attending them. Now, Rob and Gabriel, who teach the kids their martial arts, they're awesome. Oh my God. And they were kids when I was in Kung Fu 25 years ago, I think it was. His parents walking by with their kids, too. The after-school program is about the back quarter of the building. That way they don't have to crowd the front door getting their kids loaded or watch out for crazy dizzy grandmas coming in hot for their lesson. So there's a dad. He's got 2 kids showing off what they made. It's cute. I love the kids. Oh, let's see. I will probably, if I see Melinda tonight, she's a nurse, I will tell her my visceral fat is moving. But I told her about my bones. I'm so happy about that. Dumbbells are good for toning on the arms. And you can do planks on your vibration plate by putting your arms on the vibration plate, or you're bracing your hands there. Something's beep. Oh, I got a message from my daughter. I'll take a quick look. I'm not in my reading glasses because I'm going to my lesson. So, hello, Abdobin. Abdobin. I don't know. I hope I'm not butchering that too badly. I do great with European names and usually with Asian ones too. Getting a sip of my coffee. Oh, yeah. Oh, my. My weapons bag is in the back. Now, yes, Gary, do use your vibration plate more. And if you need some ideas, did it come with almost a poster, kind of a large cardstock with these are things you can do? Mine did. Although I will admit I actually don't do those things. Stick my keys in my waistband. That way the fob is hanging where I can get to it to lock it after I've got my other stuff on my shoulders. My water bottle. I probably ought to take my sweatshirt in. It is below 80 degrees. I've got a bag back there with 2 swords, 2 fans, 2 daggers, and room that I can put my sais in and maybe my tonfas too. Oh, and I've got some foam padded nunchucks, and I watch some of the stuff that Master Rob occasionally puts online for the kids to use when they're practicing. It's not officially part of Tai Chi. And yet the kids get them. And they get, well, I've got a bow staff and other stuff back there too. All the good things, right? I don't know how much of a race we can get for toning up, but there's another one of the coaches going by. But all of us need to. I wish I could speed up the autophagy and get all this stuff looking better. Although since it's looking really horrendous lately, especially with the tooth that needs to be out, maybe it'll tighten up after the tooth. I'll have less inflammation to the face, less slowing progress down, more healing, I hope. I will stick with my Cerule products because stem cells do magics. I'm also taking the Plasma Flow, Stem Enhance Ultra, I believe in, because now I get a cut, and instead of having a eczema flare-up that I'm stuck with for 4 months, I put a Band-Aid on a cut, and it's closed up in a couple days. Not bad for sticking a steak knife half an inch deep into my hand, right? And it's straight into the thick part of the palm right next to the thumb. It was deep, and it kind of hurt a little bit. That was a while ago. It was like last year, I think. Or at least last winter. Nope. The key is out, so the dome light's not coming on. That's okay. Yeah, if you have a place to pin that up where you can see it from the vibration plate, you might be motivated sometimes to do more with it. I've gotten rid of a rather mouse-chewed set of stereo equipment. Had to have my grandson take it apart so I could rescue the CDs, right? Gotta have the CDs. And some Moody Blues and some other stuff in there. I'm old, forgive me. But, that's how things are going. We're trying to get the stuff done in the living room, get the vacuuming all done. Because right after Thanksgiving, we're gotta gear up for Christmas. So we're gotta put the tree up so we have something to put the presents under. And hope the dog, cat, and grandchildren don't tear everything open. Because that time of year. Yeah, I got to listen to some older rock last night by accident. I make a joke when the grandson, the youngest one, who's still learning to drive, wants to go do something and his mom is dragged out and just cannot go with him. He starts going, I've got my wallet, I've got my keys, I've got the money for what I want. I go, you got the human sacrifice. And then I go get in the passenger seat and he drives. And he doesn't have a problem with older rock. He's a good kid. Although the trauma yesterday, he found 3 gray hairs. He's sure that means there's 100 more hiding. And he does not want to go gray too soon. Which, if he's one of those guys it happens to, then it happens. But right now, the theater instructor gets stuck with the old man roles. And if John gets too much gray hair, he will get stuck with those. It was like, dude, you want to do theater? Be willing to get a dye job and be willing to dye it back after, just beauty college in town. They'll help you color it and uncolor it and whatever you want to do. He's 16, man. 16. I don't think I had any gray till I was in my 30s. And then it was hard to find. And now, next February, I will be 60. That ain't far off. Now, I'm not using any of Rick's tricks yet. I do put a little stuff on the very ends. Sometimes, if it feels fragile, if it's like breaking off real bad. I have not put the tallow anywhere except on my eczema. Although it would make sense that would probably be good for the hair too. Go figure. I mean, Rick's hair is great, right? And if anybody wanders across this, when I say Rick, sometimes I'm accidentally mentioning someone very close to me, but usually if I'm on YouTube, I'm meaning Charger Mopar. He's got all his hair, and it looks okay. And he rides his bicycle, and which is exercise. It's not just that he's working all the time. Even when he doesn't have to ride his bicycle, he rides his bicycle to the store or to see where he can get an iguana or whatever. I think it's time. Yeah, I've been on here for half an hour. So, yeah, it's a quarter past. I'm going to gather up my stuff and get inside because Tai Chi, learn how to twist arms and break elbows, right? Uh, and then, now I'm going to have to do a live stream on the 18th. I'm just going to have to. I will be so stoned from dental work. I will either come on long enough to say, hey, nothing happened, and I have a different day that things are going to happen, or I'll say, it happened, and now I'm drooling. It's reminded my husband, it's like my thing after dental work, I gotta either watch King Kong or Godzilla or something like that. If you're gonna be that messed up, you gotta put on a monster movie. So, yo, I think I scored more badass points for my dental issues than for, taking Kung Fu and later Tai Chi. I've been in Tai Chi longer. But, I recommend it. I really do. They make it easy on people to get started. You don't have to compete. At least not at the Shaolin Do schools. But it gets you moving, gets you doing stuff, and then next thing you know, you're swinging a sword around behind your head, and you're going over here with it and cutting across, and you kind of want to get it at the level of your neck. Gee, I wonder why. What could you be cutting that would be at the level of a neck? It's fun though. But I get more badass points for a bicuspid that broke a long time ago. It broke vertically, and the two halves were rubbing against each other, and it happened on a Friday evening, and it was gonna be Monday before I'd be able to walk in at the dentist's office. So I set myself up with some supplies at the table and found out everyone around me was complete weenies. They weren't helping me. I'm getting the Ambisol in my mouth, numbing it real good. I took out the mobile half of that tooth, the part that was wiggling and rubbing against the other half. Such sweet relief. And to me, that's just a sensible thing to do. And I would have loved to have had some help with that, but I didn't. I just did it. And sometimes people just gotta take care of something. And I got all my stuff within reach of the door right here. I put my keys right there so I can lock it after I'm out. I need to call this done, and I still love y'all. Yes, Gary, get on your vibration plate. I am talking to the right person, right? Gary, not Dustin. Dustin is Keto Simple, I think. But everyone needs to eat right. They need to exercise. You can't outrun a bad diet. But once you're eating right, you can start repairing the damage. And remember, it is food bank season. We got to take care of each other. And after that, it'll be Thanksgiving for those of us who are taking care of ourselves. And then it'll be Christmas next month. I love you. I want you to be okay. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.